How's it going, everybody? It's Jeremiah here, and today I'm going to be discussing the Crash Bandicoot series along with two special guests. We're going to be having our own segments. I'm going to be discussing the remasters that are being made by Vicarious Visions. One guest is going to be discussing the future of the series, and the other guest will be talking about the Skylanders inclusion with the characters and whatnot. But the other guests will also be mentioning how the integration of those two things happening for the series. So without further ado, I'm just going to start off by saying that we don't have any footage, any visual representation of what Vicarious Visions is making for the Crash Bandicoot series. There's been a big debate on whether or not if the trilogy if the trilogy is getting remastered or getting remade. Now, I would understand if it was getting remastered, but the fact that he said it's getting remastered from the ground up confuses a lot of people, because a lot of people need to acknowledge that the terms remake and remasters are two different things, and they work differently on video games. So there's a lot of technicalities and I guess loopholes within those terms. So it's really it's kind of confusing and difficult to explain, and it only makes it worse due to the fact that we don't have anything shown off for us. You know, we didn't have anything at E3, and we didn't have anything at the PlayStation meeting, which I don't know why people were really expecting that. I'm still kind of I still find that hilarious, but yeah, that wasn't going to happen. We don't have anything yet. We probably won't be seeing anything until either PlayStation Experience 2016, which is in December this year, or at next year's E3. But I'm predicting that we may see something this PSX in December. That's what I'm predicting. Now, in terms of what the remasters or remakes are gonna be like, well, obviously they won't be super duper exactly like the trilogy. There's gonna be some differences in order to make the games better. Specifically Crash 1. I mean, we already know what's gonna happen with the other two. They're just gonna look really nice. With Crash 1, however, there are some flaws that game needs to get fixed. There's the save system, obviously, and the controls, and I think that's about it. And when it comes to the sound department of the trilogy remaster / remakes, I know there's been a push or a movement rather, or a very popular or heavy or solid or just overall well-known demand for Josh Mansell or Marcel, one of the composers pretty much for the Crash Bandicoot trilogy on the PS1, to make the soundtrack or recreate the soundtrack, or just overall have some type of involvement with the soundtrack again, with the Crash series, with these with the trilogy thing. That's what people want, and honestly I can see it happening. I just really can't tell how I don't know like the possibility of it or whatever. But enough with that. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I would like to mention as well. Now, I know there's been discussions of people talking about whether or not if the trilogy remasters / remakes will be physical or digital. They're undoubtedly going to be physical. There's no reason for it to be digital, unless, well, you know, the budget's big enough, and unless, you know, well, yeah, that's about it. If the budget's big enough, I think it'll be physical and digital. But since it is a trilogy remaster on the PlayStation 4, they won't. Oh yeah, this actually brings up another thing. People also think that it will be like separate. People think that Crash 1, 2, and 3 will be separate games. That's not the case. I mean, if you look at a game like The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, or some other realistic type of game with a lot of detail put into it, not saying that cartoony games do that, but you know, games with more aesthetic to it, I guess you could say. I don't know. The Crash Bandicoot games aren't that big, so I'm assuming that all three of them will be jammed into one disc for sure. And in terms of like online, maybe time trials can have online. I'm not too sure. I'm not really against or for that idea. I'm just like neutral about it. So I mean, it's whatever. So without further ado, since my part is done, I'm gonna have one of my friends discuss about the future of the series, what he would like to see and how he think it could possibly work. So Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's IvanH915 here, and right now I want to talk about the future of Crash Bandicoot and the remake. So we've learned that, if the trilogy does well, the creator will think about continuing the franchise, and if they do continue the franchise, I want to know what will be included in this new Crash Bandicoot if they do bring it back officially. I want to see new characters. I want to see a new kind of aspect. I want to see more spin-offs of the same character. And, yeah, just a few new characters. Like, we've been introduced to a lot of different characters like Tawana, Crunch, Bandicoot, Tiny Tiger, Dingodile, Cortex, all of them. But I want to see more new faces in the franchise. I believe that if there is more spin-offs for the game, Crash Bandicoot would be more fresh. It wouldn't lack in content. And if they do implement more like spin-offs to the franchise, I want to see more online like capabilities for racing, for party games like Crash Nitro Kart or Crash Bash, all of those games really. I want to see that implemented, please, because to me, personally, I would love to play a Crash racing game online. I would usually play, or haven't really played Crash Tag Team Racing online on the Dolphin emulator, but I would love to do that. I would love to play that kind of game online on PS4, and I just think that it would be more, it would have more replay value to it. But that's just my opinion, of course. What do you think about that, Jerry?
Now that you mention it, new characters to the series, this kind of coincides with, fan character, because not all like fan things are bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say a certain character's name, but there's been a bunch of OCs and just ideas thrown around that a lot of people don't agree with, but it could actually work because there are some good, talented, creative people out there that have creative ideas for these characters that they've made. So seeing new characters in the Crash Bandicoot series would definitely be interesting, and I wouldn't throw that idea off the table simply due to the fact that that would be innovating and that would be bringing something new. That would give a player like somewhat of a new experience and a different perspective on the Crash Bandicoot series, because then that would show that but because of how the series carried itself for so long, you still don't know like what it's truly capable of and the potential that it could really spark off. So I mean, I'm not against that at all. I think that'd be cool to see new characters in a future Crash Bandicoot game, whether it's a reboot, soft reboot, or just a new experience or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And, Dr. Cortex, he's always the main villain in every Crash Bandicoot game, but it doesn't always have to be about Cortex. We've been introduced to different villains, such as like Willy Wonka.
Oh wait, pause for a second. I don't want people to get sensitive. Now, when he says that Cortex is always the villains, he's talking about specifically Crashes 1 through 5.
I think it was 1 through 5, right?
From Crash 1 all the way to Insanity. Because I think there will be people that will like say like, oh, technically he wasn't this and that and the other in so-and-so game, even though it doesn't connect to the platformers, but whatever. I just wanted to save you there. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, but I think Crash 5, that was Twinsanity, right?
Yeah. Oh no, the Evil Twins.
Yeah,
the Evil Twins.
The Evil Twins.
Yeah, what am I talking about? From Crash 1 to Crash 4. My mistake. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we can be introduced to different kind of villains like, Nitrous Oxide. Let's see here. I'm just looking through like characters. You got Evil Crash.
That would be dope to see Evil Crash back. There's
the Evil Twins.
Yeah.
Dingodile, but like the Dingodile and all of them, they were like, I guess, henchmen. Yeah. Sort of.
Mm-hmm. You want to see them with a bigger role.
Yeah, but talking about main villains, I know Cortex is, the big bad guy. He's smart. He can create these kind of monsters, different kind of monsters, but it would be, it would be more innovative if we got introduced to different villain
Yeah.
this time around. I mean, Cortex can still be around being the main villain, but like later on, if the series does continue, it could introduce a new kind of villain that even Cortex can't handle, and maybe they can work together again. Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe Cortex can just like step aside for a little bit, and Crash can handle this new threat that is causing mayhem. But yeah, I think that's what I believe. I think that's what would be good for the series itself.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just me. Maybe not everyone's gonna agree, but I personally think that if that's the case, then Crash would be more. I don't know. I guess it would be more fun, and just to see how the story just like changes. I don't know.
You know, it kind of reminds me. I thought you were gonna bring it up, but there's actually a canceled Crash Bandicoot title called Crash Landed / Crash 2010. It one of the main villains or characters or antagonists of the Crash series in that title that was going to have some type of big role in it was Dangle, and the story was kind of dark. It was like these tiny bandicoots that were being taken into some type. Look, I can't remember because I don't study that game a lot, and all we have is like little footage of it. But it was definitely going to be one of the most coolest and dopest Crash Bandicoot games of all time. It got canceled due to Radical Entertainment getting laid off by Activision, unfortunately. That game's never getting uncanceled. It can't be restored. I wish it could. My soul still cries out for that game to this day. But it was gonna look dope. Footage for it will be on the screen if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what it was. There's concept art for it. It was gonna have a dark tone to it, and I believe it was gonna be a sequel to Mono Mutant, but the designs were changed. They were rebooted in order to cater to the OG fans that weren't such a big fan or big fans of Titans and Mono Mutants designs and all that. So Radical did care. It's just that they couldn't show their full careness because they died so fast after getting laid off. So that's the story.
Yeah. Just to conclude this discussion, my segment, let's see more characters like the Evil Twins and Willy Wumpa Cheeks. You know, main like new actual villains.
Yeah.
That are a threat to Crash or maybe Cortex, maybe both.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because there was Entropy in Crash 3. Entrance from Crash Bandicoot 2, Entrance, and there was what's his face? I know this is are you talking about platformers or just overall the series? No, you're talking about overall because Tag Team Racing.
No, overall the series.
Yeah, because there was Willy Wumpa Cheeks, Entrance, Dr. Entropy. There was, oh my god, oh my god, I forgot his name, but he's from Velo from Crash Nitro Kart. It was him.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. I also want to see Pinstripe come back. But
Emperor Velo. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, we need one more. We got one more person on here that's gonna be speaking his thoughts on the whole Crash Bandicoot situation, or rather, just whatever his segment. So without a further ado, you go ahead and speak your part, and then we should be ending this and wrapping this up under 20 minutes, hopefully.
What's up guys, Fred5107 here, and I'm going to talk about Crash Bandicoot being in Skylanders. Now, I think this was an excellent idea because Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders means that, new people, like new generation children can play Skylanders, the next Skylanders, and they can find out who Crash Bandicoot is, and they get to, if they like the character and everything, then they'll check out the remasters. And as for the fans of the original Crash Bandicoot, since Crash Bandicoot's design in Skylanders is really good, they should be into that too. So Crash Bandicoot being in Skylanders is beneficial to both newcomers and the original fans. So new people can come in and see how awesome Crash is in Skylanders, and they'll be introduced to the character, and some of the original fans can see Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders. And the reason why I really think it looks awesome is because I love Crash of the Titans, so seeing Crash run around beating up enemies, I really like that concept. And I think Vicarious Visions did really well with his design, along with Cortex and Aku Aku. Like that's why I'm excited for Skylanders. But I've never played Skylanders before, but seeing how Crash is being implemented into Skylanders, it makes me really interested in the game, because when I see that Wumpa Island cutscene, I keep watching it over and over again. I think it's very exciting. So it's great that it's coming out next month. So I encourage everybody who's a fan of Crash Bandicoot to check it out, and anybody who hasn't played Crash Bandicoot before but like Skylanders should check out Skylanders Imaginators. And I know Spyro's in there, you know, he still looks like a fucking pug, but you know, at least he doesn't look as bad as he did in previous titles. But I personally think the new Skylanders will be very good, and I'm definitely gonna pre-order it and check it out. What do you guys think about it?
Well, pretty much everything that you said. I'm not gonna be that guy to be like, there's one thing that you missed, but there's one thing that I would like to also mention, and I mentioned this in previous videos. You know, there are people that are upset because of the fact that Spyro looks the way he does, and how Crash is being treated. And what I think people need to understand, or should understand at least, because I could be wrong, this is just my little theory. You know, we have a company who has cared for the series before with GBA titles and Crash Nitro Kart that were very, 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 very similar to the Naughty Dog games. So, you know, they have history with this franchise, so clearly they're not gonna do Crash wrong. And
yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, man.
And with Vicarious Visions putting in the expansion pack, which has given newcomers a taste of what the Crash remakes or slash remasters or a new Crash Bandicoot, or, you know, just giving them a taste of what Crash Bandicoot is like, period, says a lot. You know, with obviously with their own twists and all that, because this is Skylanders. It's not a Crash game, and it's probably only like a quarter of the game anyway, which I think a lot of people should understand as well, because you gotta remember, Skylanders Imaginators, the Skylanders series is its own thing. Skylanders Imaginators is another, like, what's the term? It's another iteration to the series. So
Crash Bandicoot's a bonus,
Yeah,
basically.
he's bonus. He's a bonus. So you gotta keep that in mind. So if you're just playing Skylanders Imaginators for Crash Bandicoot, I'm not saying you're wasting your money, but I'm saying just acknowledge with what you're doing with your money, because your money could just disappear out of your wallet really fast just because of this small segment of the game that is very cool, which I'm still gonna buy. And I'm still kind of conflicted at the moment because I am financially going through some things at the moment. So yeah, I think that's about it for this discussion. Are there any last things that you two want to say before it ends?
Crash and Skylanders, don't really have a problem with it. Never really played a Skylanders game, but it's like be the first time I actually cop Skylanders.
Hold up a moment. Now, excuse me for interrupting you, but are you saying that? Because I know a lot of people. Now, I can respect the idea of you, or the thought of you not liking the idea of Crash and Cortex, Crash period, Crash Bandicoot characters in general being in Skylanders. I get that you don't respect that, you hate it, you want to fucking kill it. That's understandable. But with how they're executing it,
No, I think it's cool that they're a part of it because they don't look bad at all.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. How he looks, how he plays, and how his character is. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I pretty much just dissected what you said, because there are a lot of people that still want to like hang themselves over this.
No, it's just the fact that it's Skylanders.
Yeah, and it's well, I can't say it's understandable because I never played it, but I think they're only saying that because of what happened to Spyro, and they can't let go of what happened to Spyro.
Right.
You have to realize that what happened to Spyro, no company that was experienced with Spyro had anything to do with his design.
That's what I was about to say. Yep.
Yeah, with Crash Bandicoot, we have Vicarious Visions, making sure that, you know, the characters look appropriately. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about with Crash. But, you know, Spyro was just treated like complete shit.
Yeah, Crash, Cortex, Evil Crash, they all look
fake
fine.
Crash.
Fake Crash, yeah.
Yeah, fake Crash. Oh wait, Fake Crash has the green pants though, right? I think that's the only thing they missed.
You know, I kind of wish he did have green pants on, but it definitely was. He just had, but yeah, it was him.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I like how they added.
Looks pretty yeah, it looks pretty accurate. You know, it could look a whole lot worse.
Yep. They stayed faithful to Charles and Bella's design. But yeah, that is about it.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah. That's about it for this discussion video though. Maybe a bit too long, but I still hope you guys enjoyed listening to us and our overall thoughts on the situation before the Skylanders thing dropped and the remastered trilogy or whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later, and yeah, peace out.
Peace.
Peace.